guys raised like earlier this year the 59 million like valuation. So what was the fundraising process like for a lot of like franchisors? It's hard. Like how did you target the investors? Like what were
Yeah.
they strategic or just regular VCs?
So my mindset when it comes to raising capital, and I think year to date, we're probably closer to 16 million that we've raised for the Picklr. Started with an early friends and family round, which that one was just very lucky to have people in my community that just believe in what we were doing. They bought into the vision early. We had an unproven concept, right? We had a which we felt was a good idea, and it was a new category, and not only I mean, no one was franchising in that time, but it was a new category in just pickleball in general, right? No one was doing indoor at the time, and so we had some friends that and family that believed in what we were doing, and we raised a friends and family round, started our Series A, and in that process, I probably had over 100 leads in my inbox on LinkedIn, on Instagram. People were flying from Florida, from Arizona. I mean, you name it. They were flying and saying, "What are you doing? We want to know what you're doing." And I used to give free advice to anyone that would call me or come see me and just tell them what we were doing. I'm like, why am I doing this? If I'm thinking it, other people are thinking it. And so we raised the Series A, capped it off early because we went through the franchising process, got an FDD done. I think in record time. I think we did it in 2 weeks, which normally for companies, it could take up to 6 months. And luckily, we had been practicing scalability and procedures from day one, and so we were able to go through that process fairly quickly. And all the money that we've raised has been strategic by people that are either huge believers of the space and have other businesses associated with pickleball, or friends and family. So up to this point, we figured strategic money would go a lot longer, because you're dealing with people that have different distributions or avenues in pickleball, whether it be data or whether it be access to pros or whether it be getting better prices or partnerships. We just decided to go with that route instead before ever talking to private equity or venture capitalists, and they're knocking on the door now, right? I mean, our first year of franchising, the first 18 months, we're at 426 domestic locations sold, not area developer deals, actually sold. We just got Canada done for 68 locations. Australia, New Zealand, Japan are close to being done with master franchisees, and then yeah, I mean, it's just scaled faster than we could have ever thought. We have 19 locations open, 30 under construction, and around 68 leases signed.
Is why do you think that is? Because many people struggle to sell even their first franchise. So what is it that like this just almost unheard of?
It is unheard of, and quite honestly, I didn't understand that because, I didn't have any franchising experience. I think why people were so attracted to us is, I think number one, people buy into people, right? And so I think we had a really amazing founder group that really believed in what we were doing. And along the way, we brought in some people that were in the community that just loved pickleball, that transitioned out of jobs from being social workers or working in finance or whatever it may be, that just joined our team. And then ultimately what we did is we went and hired the best people in franchising, right? I think myself and the other two founders we were quick enough to recognize that we had no idea what we were doing. We'd jump on calls that we'd take from people interested in franchising and immediately recognized that we were over our head, right? And so we hired a chief operation officer, who is now our president, that came from a yoga studio concept that got up to 1,000 locations and has 20 plus years of experience in franchising. My chief brand officer and does our partnerships came from F45. Immediately came in and change the look and feel of what the brand is of the Picklr. It's a lifestyle brand. It's the third space for people that come in and you know, it's their home, it's their work, it's the Picklr, right? The community aspect of what we provide and the human interactions and connections that you can feel on an everyday basis is incredible. My chief growth officer, same thing, Snap Fitness, you know, your European Wax. He had 30 plus years of experience when it came to franchising. And then my CMO, she came from Skull Candy. And so everything that we try to build, I mean, I think we built a very strong foundation early on with the team we brought on. And then we invested heavily in people. We have 77 people now at corporate that support the franchisee. And we continue to invest in the foundation of the franchisor being the Picklr. And so I think people early on caught on that not only did we love pickleball, we were pickleball people, but we were willing to invest in the right processes and procedures and foundation of this franchisor, so that when they did join a fast-growing franchisor, yes, do we have the pains of being a new business? Of course, but it is a lot more solid than anybody else coming into the space because of the investment we made in people.